Kodash, 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 Adonai, Elohim, Sabaoth, meaning holy, 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 Lord of hosts. Yah, He, Vah, He. The first Yah signifies the Father who art in heaven, Abba, the architect of the universe, which correlates with one of the parts of duality, which is divine masculine energy, as above. And below, Hey, the mother who art in the earth, the womb, 360 degrees, where mankind was created, molded, shaped, and formed into the breath of life. Ether was breathed into them, earth. Rearrange earth, you get ether. So you got Yah, Hey, then you got Ba. Ba is the sixth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which correlates with the day mankind was created, on the sixth day. And Ba is also the sixth letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is the divine masculine, because mankind signifies duality of both genders, male and female, So Ba, mankind, That's why it says in the book of Genesis, also known as Bereshith in the beginning, also known as Isis, that correlates with the generations of Isis, part of the Is, Ra, and El. You get the Isis, Ra, and El, but, Ba, it correlates with creation, because in the beginning, Elohim, which is plural, means more than one, said, let us create them in our image. Now the key words of the passage is, let us, key words, us, create them in our, signifying more than one, the us. And then you got Hey, the last Hey, which correlates with the first Hey, which is divine feminine as well. So you got the first, the Yah is divine masculine. You got Ba is divine masculine, signifying mankind, the us. Then you got Hey, first Hey, mother, womb, Tiamat, earth, ether, breath of life, mankind being molded in the earth, the womb of the earth, in creation, the mother, the nurturer. And then the last Hey, which signifies with the first Hey, but Anna is the opposite of Abba, so you got mother, Anna, choke my mother, wisdom, and wisdom comes from trial and error, going through some things to know some things, which creates wisdom. Anna Chokma means mother wisdom, which is a spirit, it's a consciousness that's left, passed down, and it's always there, You gain experience through your experiment, You go through an experiment on this earth, your trial, your error, go through some things to know some things, which will bring you your judgments or your salvation, your do's and your don'ts, and then you become experienced, and you gain wisdom, Wisdom is knowing, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, which King Solomon, soul of man, that's what Solomon means, soul of man, was well versed in. But that's the introduction. That's how I always introduce my videos for the most part, because I break it down in an esoteric standpoint, So as I break that down, as above, so below, the macro prosophis above and the micro prosophis below, because we are the microorganisms and the host of the Elohim. So I'm going to give you a quick breakdown on the KOACH prayer and what it means, Like I always say before, so in the process of saying this prayer, what I have been doing is implementing mudras into my prayer. So instead of praying with your hands closed like this, there's power in your hands. You want your blessings to flow freely. Energy moves freely through the heels and the palms of your hands, So when you're praying, see, this is a key mudra right here when you're praying. You want to hold your hands like this, and you literally, this basically correlates with, hold on. This correlates with, hold on. Yeah, holding your hands like this means that you have an objective in mind. So you see the two middle fingers. The two middle fingers signify the element of ether. You know, ether is the fifth element of earth, water, fire, and air. Then you have ether, which controls the four. So two middle fingers together, thumbs together. Over here, kind of like a triangle, circle 360 degrees when you pray, you know. So this is a key mudra right here, you know, that signifies, a personal objective in mind. So reflecting your intention on something. Remember I told you before, words are spells. So syllables, the sound vibrational frequencies, that's one thing. That's the energy within itself. But when you're directing it with an intention behind it, now you have a feeling, an emotion behind it. And then you have the atmosphere and setting, you know, the etheric realm, where it basically transfers the energy that's from that visualization state to the manifestation state. So it starts off. Ana KOACH Gadula Ya Manecha Ta Tir Kazura Kabel Renat Amecha Sadvenu Taharenu Nora Na Gibor Dushe Yetadeka Kavaa Shamrim Barachim Taharim Rachame Yetadeka Tamid Gam Lim Chasin Kadash Ba Rav Tav Cha Nahil Arateka Yache Gehe Ayamach Pane Zachri Kadushateka Shabatinu Kabel Ushma Tazaakatinu Yade Tahalma Fiat. Alright, I know y'all heard of the Ana KOACH prayer before. Some of y'all have, some of y'all have not. But today I'm going to actually break down what the Ana KOACH prayer means. So I just said it in Hebrew, right? So that's one of the first Hebrew prayers that I actually learned by heart, you know. And it says, all right, meditate for a few moments on the faces of whoever you are praying for and then continue. Baruch Shem Kavad Malchuso Alam Vayed. The English translation is as follows. It says, with your great power, release the bounds of exile from your people. Receive our prayer. The prayer of your people, elevate us and purify us, Great One. Please, Almighty One, keep us safe, protect us from harm, and save us. Bless us, give us strength with your grace. Reward us and have mercy on us. O God, O Great One, with your powers, guide your congregation with kindness, superior, the one and only. Come back to your people who worship you and remember your holiness. Accept our plea. Hear our bitter cry. You, the one who knows the true hidden way. Then it says, meditate for a few moments on the faces of those who you are praying for, and then continue. Blessed is the name of his glorious kingdom for all of eternity. So, now here's a brief history on the Ana KOACH prayer in its origin. It says, written during the 1st century BC, this is one of the most powerful healing prayers to be found in the Yahudim liturgy, which it says Jewish, but I say Yahudim. You know, Jewish means converted. Yahudim means the actual Judah, you know. So it is, you know, sometimes you got to restore words. It is recommended that this prayer be first said in the AM, in the rising of the sun, which it says morning. Ain't nothing good about morning, so I try to remove the word morning because it's a threefold meaning when you break it down in the most broken and unpure language, which is English, So we gotta slang it, you get what I'm saying? If you know, you know. I said in the morning, then repeat it during the day as needed. For generations, the KOACH prayer has been given great importance by Kabbalistics and other Yahudim mystics alike because of its power in communicating with the upper realms. According to the Zohar, the Book of Splendor, one of the fundamental works in the literature of the Yahudim mystical thought known as Kabbalah, this sequence of Hebrew letters encompasses the actual power of creation. The KOACH prayer, the KOACH is built from 42 letters and is also known as the 42-letter name of God. Whenever we make a connection to the 42-letter name, we are tapping into the primordial force of creation. The prayer in its entirety contains 72 names of God according to the Kabbalah. To begin a proper meditation on these names, start by getting into a calm state of mind and relax your body. Meditate on where and to whom you wish to channel the holy healing light that you are about to receive. You can almost never ask the light for just yourself except in a life-threatening situation. That's why when I always pray and say certain affirmations to receive something, I say, may I receive with the purpose of sharing with others and not for self alone, because compassion, togetherness, and synchronicity, that was the whole concept of our creation, to work together in harmony, not separation, not to be divided, to be all in one accord on the same frequency, Harmony. Harmony is the key thing of it all. And it teaches that in the Zohar, which I did a video on that a while back ago and, broke that down. It says, after finishing the KOACH, do not recite the final line that begins with Baruch Shem, but continue to scan the total 72 names. Scan them all without pronouncing any of them. While doing so, again, think of every person, yourself included, who may be in need of healing. Then read the last line of this amazing healing prayer. And that's what the KOACH prayer. So right here I can show you, this one is one that's written out already, maybe if y'all can freeze the screen. Alright, and this is what it means in English, right here. But, this is what we're going to start doing, little videos on this stuff. And I got a whole bunch of ones with different, magical, mystical, healing prayers in here that all correlate with the Bible. Each one of these that's folded up is a different prayer or it's a different affirmation and healing that all connects to the Hebrew literature and sound vibrational frequencies, prayers, visualization, manifestations, and how you use them with instruction. So, I've been holding on to these for years, a lot of them I've been studying them and memorizing them before I even spoke on them, but I believe it's time now to speak on them because, I just follow my spirit, and that's when I release things based upon how, it resonates with my spirit and the time, it just feels, I feel my way through, thinking comes from not knowing. So sometimes when something is within you, you just have to feel it, you know. You don't have to overthink yourself, overwhelm yourself, become anxious with anxiety, or, oh, what's going to be my next video, or what's going to be, you know, you just got to feel the frequencies, you know, and you got to become one with them. So that's the Anna KOACH prayer. That's the history on it, and that's the English translation and meaning, and the instructions on how to use it. Salah, so shall it be.